that if you go into the streets and you ask at least 5 persons about the best way to get the biggest fan base of the Big Brother Naija platform, as a potential housemate participant that you are, at least all of them would tell you that you can only get that via controversy or being negatively controversial. But guys, do you know that that is not the only way? There are so many ways, and that is all I'm going to be telling you all on this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Bbnaija. So this video is basically for those people who have been selected or chosen to participate in this year's or this season's Big Brother Naija show. So if you're watching this video right now, you totally need to watch till the end. Do not skip one bit. And if you are not going to be participating on the season of Big Brother Naija and you know somebody that has been selected, then please do them a favor by sharing this video to them. You just don't know how this video might go a long way in helping their game whilst in the house. Before I continue with this video, I just feel this very strong urge to reintroduce myself and also welcome all of you back to my channel. My name is Bbnaija and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. This is my YouTube channel. This is our YouTube channel. I am a YouTube commentary creator. I run commentaries, reviews, analyses about reality TV shows, movies, and trending topics. In fact, I talk about a lot of things that concerns all of us. So guys, you are all absolutely welcome. To those of you who are my returning subscribers, you are the real MVP. You guys are simply amazing. For those of you who are new to my channel, you are warmly welcome to the family. On this space, we have fun. And we have the most fun in the comment section. We have the most fun on Saturdays during our YouTube live stream. That is where we do a lot of self-expressions. That is where we explode. That is where we live freely with self-abandon. Okay, so guys, you are all welcome to this family. Don't go anywhere. Just stay locked down onto this channel. There are so many amazing things happening over here, and I'm sure you'll be glad that you hit that red subscribe button. Let's start the video proper. Now, if you cast your mind back to the season 2 of Big Brother Naija, you'll see that most of the housemates back then, they did not really understand the importance of having a fan base. Not just a fan base now, but a loyal, supportive, a huge fan base. They did not really understand the importance of that. And the reason for that was because there wasn't really a fan base craze as at that time. And a lot of brands were not really endorsing people coming out of the Big Brother Naija house. I don't know, I should have a reason for that, but guys, to be very honest, sometimes I cannot really wrap my head around it. I think maybe because the housemates of that time were not really controversial that much. I also feel like the show as at that time had not really gained the level of awareness and publicity that it has now. So brands were not really invested that much in the show, in Big Brother Naija. But then beginning from season 3, during the double Wahala season, where we had Toby, Cece, Alex, who else, Ifo and Nada, where we had all those people, brands started getting interested in the show because we had a very, very controversial person, that is Cece. We also had a controversial Toby. We also had the controversial, is it Chloe? We had a lot of controversial people who were bringing fire to the show. So brands started getting interested and started investing slightly in the housemates as they came out. So I feel like as at that time, Cece was the first housemate that really bagged a lot of endorsement. In fact, she bagged more endorsement than the season 1 people and the season 2 people, you know. So the idea, the notion and the culture of brands endorsing housemates right off the stables or off the platform of Big Brother Naija, it strongly started from the double Wahala season. They endorsed Toby a lot. Remember, Toby was a banker before he got into the house. He literally resigned his job before going for the show. And then there was also Cece, who was a legit certified lawyer. You know, she left her practice and then she went into the house for the show, and then she became very, very famous and popular. And guys, as I said, that was where the culture of brands endorsing housemates started. To be very, very fair, to tell you all that that culture did not just start off because the brands just saw the housemates as being quite interesting. Because guys, to be very honest, as a matter of fact, almost all the housemates during that double wahala season, they have their own uniqueness. One way or the other, they were interesting. They made the show worth the watch. They made the show very, very intense. They made it very, very entertaining and interesting. But the real truth is, brands started that culture of endorsing these housemates based on the level of loyalty that they have been able to build in their fan base. Yes, brands started that culture because of the multitude of people supporting those specific housemates. That's just it. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. It wasn't like the people from the Fswg season, that's the season 2 of Big Brother Naija, weren't as controversial or weren't as interesting. But the truth is, they weren't as extremely controversial as the double wahala season. CC did the most. CC's actions in the house were very, very extreme to some extent. In fact, the most extreme was that very day, I think in the last week, where she had that 2 hours or 3 hours long outburst at Toby, you know, but then she came out of the house and people celebrated her as the hero, even though that was very, very off point. But then it was the kind of thing that a lot of people actually liked to see, and that was how she was able to build her fan base, Spartans. Of course, most of the her fan base at that time, they claimed that they were able to relate with her hurt, with all the gaslighting that Toby did to her, blah blah blah. They all claimed all of that, so that kind of put her on a very, very high pedestal that made her very, very visible to the brands, and then she got all those endorsements that she got, however anybody wants to put it, but that was how I saw it anyways. Now fast forward to season 4, the Bbnaija gang season. Guys, the controversy, it tripled. Now, Tacha and Mercy Eke's situation was very, very interesting. That's the word. Very, very interesting, because for Tacha especially, people felt like she was coming into the show to have a replay of what CC did. And guys, I remember I did a prediction video before the show started, and I made mention that, listen, one of my strongest predictions for the season, for the Bbnaija gang season, is that there will always be one person or two people who would come back to replay the exact same thing that CC did in her own season. And guys, lo and behold, Tacha came into the picture in her own season, and she actually did a lot. And now for Tacha's case, we had a situation of opportunity meeting, should I say, reactions. I don't even know how to put it the best way, but Tacha's own was as a result of opportunity meeting reactions, because in that house there was a lot of hits everywhere. I mean, the organizers of the show, all the games, all the twists and turns that they brought, it just ensured that the house was constantly on fire. Yeah, very, very hot, and sometimes unbearable for most of the housemates to even stay. But then that was what made the show different and even very, very interesting. So we didn't really have a lot of relationships like the lockdown period, but then we had a lot of drama, we had a lot of fights, we had a lot of quarrels here and there, we had a lot of conspiracies going on here and there. Guys, it was intense. In fact, that season literally 100% embodied the theme, Bbnaija gang. And so then we had Titans for Tacha, and then Tacha for Titans. So Tacha was able to get the most loyal and the biggest, the most supportive fan base of that season. Guys, we also had mercenaries, of course, but then everybody would tell you, pop and plain, that it was the Titans that actually carried the cup for the biggest and the most loyal fan base of that season. And guys, to date, their loyalty is still unwavering. It is still solid, and that is why Tacha is still getting those endorsements from everywhere. Over time, people have argued that, oh no, they do not believe that those housemates are getting those endorsements because of their fan base. Oh, it's because of their personalities. But then, if we're going to toe that line of arguments, then we have to bring about the moralistic argument into the picture. That, okay, why is it that those housemates who were not as crazy, who did not do the most, who did not do extra, are not really getting the same amount of endorsements as the ones who were doing the most and who have successfully built a fan base? Why are they not really getting the same level or the same amount of endorsements? You know, so the conversation is quite vast, the argument is quite broad, but then we're not all about the argument on this video, because for those 2 seasons, brands were only after numbers that could help project their product or their services, numbers that could help create that awareness, and also make sales for their products or their services. And quite fortunately, there were selected housemates who possessed those numbers. And guys, remember, these brands, they operate as a business. Yes, they operate as a business. What makes you think they are even more concerned about morality, moralistic arguments and stuff like that, other than helping to boost their business? Fast forward to the crux of the matter of this video. Guys, the season 5 of Big Brother Naija, which is the lockdown period, guys, there was a huge difference. There was a huge difference in the sense that controversy was not the only thing that sold in that season. Yes, controversy was not the only tool that helped or enabled certain housemates to build the biggest fan base. Yes, okay, fine. Erica was quite controversial. Yes, she got elites. Laycon was not controversial. As a matter of fact, what helped Laycon to build his fan base was what? Talent. Simply talent. And guys, that was the first in the history of Big Brother Naija. I mean, it was quite amazing. Frankly, I was shook. I kept on racking my brains. I was asking myself, how did this guy do it? And guys, I'm going to tell you how he did it. But Laycon was not the only person that was able to build his fan base off talent alone. We also had Dorothy. Dorothy was not controversial in the house. But hey, guess what? She came out of the house possessing another very, very strong fan base. How? Because of her personality, not because she was negatively controversial, not because she did too much or because she did the most. So some people might also say that, oh, Ozo and Nengi, they also got a fan base by not being controversial. I disagree. Ozo and Nengi definitely did create their own controversy in the house by following each other up and down. They created that couple's rift here and there. You tell this person, I don't want you, and then you tell the person, why did you ignore me? That kind of thing. So they created their own controversy already. So I'm sorry, they did not qualify to be on that list. But the two people I will be focusing on right now are Dorothy and Laycon. Now, if you cast your minds back to when Laycon newly got into the house, he let us know that he had a single outside that he had already dropped. And as at the time he just got into the house, the single had only about, I think, 60,000 streams on the platform that he had dropped it. But then by the time he won the show and got out of the house, guys, that song had gotten millions and millions of streams online. This is what we're talking about. Using your talent to attract the right set of people. Using your personality to attract the right set of people. Laycon did not go into the house raving mad or running up and down, insulting his fellow housemates. He did not even have to do that. Most of the time, Laycon was in the house, except one particular week when he had that emotional breakdown about the Erica not reciprocating or recruiting his love affections. Yeah, but most of the time, Laycon was in the house. Laycon was all about his music. Laycon was all about creating songs. Laycon was all about, talking about the future, projecting what he would do when he got out of the house. It was quite intense, and people were able to identify with Laycon's dreams. People were able to identify with his background, with where he is coming from. And guys, for Dorothy, oh my God, it was all about how she was able to embrace herself. Dorothy is a plus-size woman. Dorothy is busty. Now, for most women, they will feel very, very insecure about their body. They will feel very, very insecure about themselves, to the point that they would not even, first of all, want to bring themselves to a platform like this. They would want to hide themselves in their shell because they would feel like they are not good enough, for people to see. But then Dorothy was brave enough to expose herself to a platform like this, number one. Then number two, she got into the house, and the way she carried herself with so much dignity. She carried herself, although guys, I'm just talking about what we saw in the house, because what we heard at the reunion, now wow. But based on what we saw whilst the show was still on, Dorothy conducted herself with so much respect. She carried herself with so much dignity. She did not wear too many or any revealing outfits. Yes, people were expecting that, oh, because she had such frontal assets, she should use that to her advantage by going around the house, flaunting it here and there, trying to use that as a weapon to mobilize a fan base outside the house or gain votes or massive support. But then she did none of that. Instead, she focused on her game. She focused on doing what she was doing. And guys, to be very honest, that actually worked for her significantly. If you meet an icon or an explorer and you ask them, oh, what attracted you to your fave? For Laycon, they would tell you that, oh, they saw a young man who had dreams. They saw a young man who had a vision for himself. And they saw a young man who did not allow the circumstances of, his health, of his size, of his physique. He did not allow those things to be a disadvantage for him in the house. He remained focused on his game. Even if at some point he lost focus, but then he remained focused on his game. He allowed his confidence to rule everything. For Dorothy, they would tell you that they saw a young woman who had so much confidence regardless of her size. They saw a young woman who conducted herself with all the respect and regard that a woman should conduct herself in public's eye. And guys, there might be many other reasons, but what I'm trying to say in essence is this, that hey, for those of you who have been selected to participate in the season 6 of Big Brother Naija, there are so many ex-housemates for you to learn from. I mean, frankly, there are so many ex-housemates that you people can actually learn from and even bring in your own originality into getting your own loyal fan base. Yes, but then sadly, the culture that we have in this part of the world when it comes to Big Brother Naija is that there's going to be certain people that will still come into this season 6 of Big Brother Naija, and then they would want to come and recreate all the drama that has already happened in previous seasons. Guys, it's going to be crazy. But listen, regardless, this is my advice. I've actually done a video about how to win Big Brother Naija season 6 using your social media power. Listen, you definitely need to watch that video. I'm going to link it up here on this video, but here are just a few tips that I'm going to list out. Looking at Laycon and Dorothy, how they played their game for the season 5 of Big Brother Naija. Listen, guys, you can as well get this right without being too toxic, without being extremely overwhelming on the viewers. If you want to get the biggest and most loyal fan base from the season 6 of Big Brother Naija, trust me, you need your talent to shine. You need your personality to shine. And when I say personality, you see that one that carries a bit of madness, please, you can bring some of it, but don't bring all of it, because the viewers are becoming woke. The viewers are getting tired of the toxicity. The viewers are getting tired of a repetition of the recycling of previous seasons' madness. The viewers are awoke now, as a matter of fact. The viewers want to see rich content. Yes, and Laycon proved that. Laycon came with that kind of energy and he won. So do not expect that, oh, Erica did this in lockdown and she got elite. Tacha did what she did and she got Titans. Oh, Sisi did what she did and she got what's their name, Spartans, and then you want to come and do your own. Trust me, it might not work out for you this time around. It might not. It might not. So my advice is embrace who you truly are. Embrace who you truly are. Showcase your talent to the maximum. Showcase your personality. Try to attract those brands who you know will be watching you. And most importantly, now that you've not gone into the house and people have not started seeing you, start building your profile outside the house. Laycon dropped a song before he went into the house. In other words, Laycon sowed the seed of his talent outside the house before he got into the house. So you should start asking yourself, what is that one thing that I know how to do best that is going to get people to love me, that is going to get people to identify with me, that is going to get people to want to become loyal to me and extend their gesture of votes and loyalty and support to me? That is the question you should start asking yourself. And once you think of that one thing, once you can place your mind or your heart on that one thing, guys, establish it outside the house. It might be a business, it might be one sort of talent or the other that you have. just start pushing that on your social media pages. Start doing that so that by the time you're inside the house, whoever is your handler will thrive on that to help you build an amazing profile that will attract more of those fans that you actually dream of having. You know what? We could actually spend hours upon hours having this conversation, yeah? And we will not even come to an end. But then I feel like this is the part where I have to zip it and allow you guys to drop your own contributions and suggestions to these housemates in the comment section below. Guys, trust me, I love it when you all drop your comments below for me to read, because it gives me a different perspective, entirely different from my own perspective to reason from. So please go ahead and drop your own thoughts and contributions in the comment section below, and I'll do well to respond to all of you. And that will be all for this particular episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to turn on the post notification bell if you always want to receive a lot of my videos like this, and I will see you all on another episode. Bye.